Building an app for teams or organizations. I'm Matt, and for the last 3 years, I've been helping creators build powerful apps without touching a single line of code. In today's video, I'll show you how you can set up shared data and user access for companies or teams or organizations in Bubble. By the end, you'll have a system in place that keeps data secure, organized, and perfectly tailored for your users' roles. So the first thing we'll do is just look at existing privacy rules, and we'll start with user. So at the very basic level, what I've got here is saying if this user is current user. So this means that of all the fields on user, for example, I have email address as default, but I have first name, I've got other fields on there. We can take a look here, and I'm saying view all of these fields. I can view them about myself when I'm current user, but I can't view other users. Something you want to make sure here, of course, is that you're not exposing absolute worst thing you could do is have something like this email address. That means that all of your users' email addresses, even if you don't print them on a page, are vulnerable. It is not enough to just not show the data. You have to use privacy rules to stop that data from leaving the server and arriving in your user's browser. So this is set up for the simplest privacy rules I believe you can have. We'll take an example, another data type like order here. So this order's creator is current user. We're basically saying one-to-one. If you create it, you can access it. Everyone else is excluded. Let's add a team into the mix. So we need a new data type called team. And I'm just going to leave this unchecked because I'll show you how to set it all up. And now we have to have that team as a field on every single data type that we want to apply a privacy rule to allow access to. So for example, user. It's useful to be able to see the names of other users in the app. So what we would do is we'd add in fact, this is the second time I've recorded this tutorial. So I'll go down here and I'll add in a team field. Okay, there we go. And then I'll do the same on order, and order's also going to have a deleted team field because I've had to reshoot this due to an issue with the recording software. So I'll say team of type team. Okay. Now what you must do is ensure that every time an order is created, it isn't just abandoned. It always must have a team set. So you could have create a new thing, order, team equals current user's team. And that only works, of course, if you ensure that every user has a team. You really need to make sure on that. So let's go ahead and add in some privacy rules. So we'll start with order because it's a bit simpler. So we'll say team. And we'll say for orders, we just want everyone in the team to be able to access all of the data on orders. So we would say this order's team is current users team. Okay, so now it means that if this team is current user's team, they can access the order. I would always leave this one in as well, just in case, because it just means that if you create it, you can still access it. That's your way of adding in even more advanced permissions. For example, if you want to only allow some orders to be viewed across the team, you would need to have a series of privacy rules in place. Remember, your privacy rules are the only proper way to restrict data leaving the server, and also they're only as strong as the weakest rule. This, however, as pointed out in an excellent webinar I saw over the summer, is not sufficient, because what happens if team is empty here and team is empty here? Then this statement is true, and so this privacy rule will take effect. And current user's team will be empty if current user is logged out, because unless you disable it, Bubble uses a session cookie so that even logged out users behave as a current user, and if they aren't logged in, then they probably don't have a team, which means that this is empty. And that then means that if any orders have been created in your app and they are without a team, they are then effectively public. Not good. So let's add in an additional couple of statements here. So we'll say when current user's team is not empty. So we're excluding current users there where the team is not empty. And I think it is worth also adding in when this order's team is not empty. So we're adding 2 additional layers of protection. I wish we didn't. I wish it was more elegant, but hopefully I've explained it adequately to make sense why this first third isn't sufficient. You have to add in these additional statements. Let's do the same for user. So we'll also say, and when this user's team, oh no, that we'll leave this statement because this is about our current user, and so we'll say teammates perhaps, and we can then say when this user's team and when current user's team is not empty. Okay, and then if I wanted to restrict it, I could do something like this where I'm saying like only the first names. And do I have a profile image on this version? No, I don't, but you get the idea. So this would then mean that I can list, if I do a search for users, it's only going to return the users that check both of these rules. So it's going to return the current user, they would see themselves in the list, and it's going to return other users where the team is equal to their team. So one final point, make sure that when you create something, you always give it that team, whether you call it team or organization. You don't want to have empty ones in your database.